Hi there, and welcome to Wow, It's Anchorage, the show that puts a spotlight on the unique people and things happening right here in our city. We have an outstanding lineup of guests tonight, but first I'd like to say a quick note off the community board. The date on the beef stew cook-off at the Benson Rec Center has been changed from the 3rd to the 9th, so you're definitely going to want to mark that on your calendars. You're not going to want to miss that. You can catch my first guest at the Spenard Farmers Market, known as a rebel in the local gardening community for his thoughts on snow peas in the spring. Herbert Neubauer. Herbert, pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure to be here.
What are some of the best vegetables to grow in Alaska?
Beats the kale out of me.
Pardon me? I'm not sure what you...
Beats the kale out of me. That's the name of the booth.
Would you recommend everyone trying to buy their produce locally?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know when the soil is the right temperature for planting?
I like to probe 12 to 16 inches using a compost thermometer. You need to know what the temperature is in the middle of your heap.
Wow, thanks Herb. That was some really great insight. And now for our next guest. He's an expert in outdoor recreation and an avid blogger, known for his brash manner and his unsympathetic attitude towards anyone who suffers the consequences of venturing into the wild unprepared. Here is the one and only Colin McRed. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice.
Thanks for having me on your show.
You can just...
Okay.
Thanks. Normally just pass the poles. Those are his poles. He can keep them. My first question comes from a viewer. What's the best way to get to the trailhead? The trailhead of the hike.
One of the best ways is you can take a bus.
Oh, the bus. Yeah. I mainly ride the bus myself around town.
If that doesn't work and you miss it, you can take a cab. Sometimes you can take a bike. Yeah, I've had numerous times my daughter's taken me.
Great. So we've made it to the trailhead. Now, how much of a hike is uphill?
I estimate about 50% of the time you're ascending, and then 50% of the time, approximately, you're descending.
What provisions do you bring with you when you're on a hike?
Glad
Coming
you asked,
from an
Leslie, because
expert.
I brought them with me today. Okay. This is my family recipe trail mix. We've had the raisin plants in our family for 3 generations. A couple other things I like to bring with me is, in case of extreme chaos, I have a kind bar.
Okay.
If it's raining or if I'm feeling down, this is what I do. My Middle Way Cafe thermos, which I carry with me everywhere.
Middle
It's
Way
an amazing
Cafe,
thermos.
huh? I've never heard of that. That sounds like a... You know what? I'm going to make a note of that. That sounds like a good place to grab a bite to eat right there. I'm going to go ahead and...
You know, I've even had to shoot a bear off my foot one time. It just got too close. So you got to be careful. They're out there, and you're in their territory.
Well, that was a really exciting insight into the mind of a recreational master. But I have to cut it short because our next guest is warming up his vocal cords. Mr. Caleb Abbott is on deck. By day, he is a fitness equipment specialist at Gary King's off of Northern Lights. But tonight, he is going to show you what he does for his passion. So, without further ado, strap in your seatbelts. Here we go. Gary Abbott.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. And by now you should have somehow realized what you got to do. And I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out. And I'm sure you heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt. And I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads we have to walk are winding, and all the lights that lead the way are blinding. And there are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how.
Well, thanks for joining us on this episode of Wow, It's Anchorage. We hope to see you next time.
I said maybe, you're gonna be the one that saves me, And after all, you're my wonder.